Books with Brandywine. Today I am doing the Happily Ever After tag that was originally done by Rachel Marie at Rachel Marie Book Junkie. There's 10 questions and each of them is a different Disney fairy tale. And you have a bunch of names that you've put on little tabs that look like little papers. And there are names of main characters from different books. They can be the good main characters, the bad main the villainous main characters. And you put them all in some item. I'm using my Death Star because I love my Death Star. And you shake it up and you draw out the names, and then you plug in the names for one of the characters from the Disney movies. And there's specific questions. They go in a specific order. It'll make more sense once I start doing it. So let's get started. So I have my Death Star and it's got a bunch, well, it doesn't look like many, but it's got a bunch of names in it. And we're going to shake it up and we're going to draw out these names and it's going to be awesome. And we're going to find out if these people will still get their happily ever after. Alright, so question number 1. Sleeping Beauty. As Prince Holt from Ranger's Apprentice, Holt, storms the castle, they are attacked by a ferocious dragon. Will they have the courage to save their love? Okay, so Holt is super, super courageous, and that is the kind of thing that he does every day. Minus the dragon, because they don't actually have dragons in this book series that he's from. But, that's right up his alley. That's totally a thing that he would do. And he does fall in love in the series, and he would, protect her with his life. He would die for her. So, yeah, I would say that he would go and do the best that he could for his love. And I could totally see him slaying Maleficent the dragon, because he's tough, and he can do it. All right, number 2, The Little Mermaid. Let's see. Luna Lovegood from Harry Potter is really half fish. I could see it. She would rock the half fish. Will Prince Eric still want them? I'm going to say yes, because Luna Lovegood is totally awesome. And I think, she doesn't have the same quirks that Ariel has. She's definitely a bit quirkier than Ariel. But I could see them being best friends, and I could see Eric still falling in love with her. Luna Lovegood is totally awesome. I would love Luna Lovegood. I would want her for my best friend. She's so awesome. Okay, number 3, Aladdin. Princess Parzival from Ready Player One. So he's the main character of Ready Player One, if you don't know. Princess Parzival finds out Aladdin is really a thief and a rogue. Will he fall for him? Well, assuming he wasn't already in love with Artemis, I would say yes, because in the book, he's in love with Artemis, and I could see Artemis being a thief and a rogue. I mean, she's pretty crazy, and she's pretty out there, and she doesn't just sit and wait for somebody to rescue her. She is out there, and she's doing everything. In fact, she solved the first, well, didn't solve, but she figured out the first key before he did, and was there trying to solve it for a month. She didn't have the same video gaming skills that he did, but she is awesome. She is one of my favorite characters. And so, I could see it. Yeah, I could see it. I think that he would want a thief and a rogue. I think that would be good for him. Let's see. Beauty and the Beast. The Beast starts to show his soft side, and Mornhaven from the Green Rider. Okay. The Beast starts to show his soft side, and Mornhaven can see his vulnerabilities. Would they react the same or trick him to escape? So, Mornhaven is the ultimate evil from the Green Rider. He's trying to take over the entire country and turn, the entire world, and turn everything dark and horrible. And he has his reasons. There's more to his character that I can't remember, because it's been a really long time since I've read the beginning of the Green Rider. The series has been unveiling for over 10 years, and I need to go back and read the first ones. But he is not a good character. He creates monsters. There was this whole, gorgeous elven area, and he turned it into this disgusting, dark, horrible place. The hummingbirds suck your blood. He just turned it into the worst possible, exact opposite of the beautiful haven that it was. And he is, so bad news. And he keeps coming back, and he's so strong that nobody can really stop him, but they can delay him. And so now at the point in the book, like, they don't even know where he is or when he's going to show up again. And there's no way they're going to be able to stop him. Like, he is the evilest of the evil. And so I like to think that the Beast could handle him, not as a love interest, but definitely like as having to fight him as a villain. But I think as bad of shape as Beast was in, the vulnerabilities that the Beast had, I really think that he would turn him into a weapon to use against the villagers. Like, Mornhaven is bad news. He would definitely manipulate him. He wouldn't even have to escape. He would take over the entire castle. Which is sad, because I like the Beauty and the Beast. Okay. The Lion King. So, okay. Katai from Codex Alara. Katai realizes Simba has been alive in the Outlands all this time. Will they be able to forgive him? Okay. So Katai is another one of those, I keep wanting to use that word. Is it bad to use that word? I'm just going to use that word. She's one of those badass females that is like the female protagonist that you would totally look up to and want to be because she's just so cool. She's the main love interest of the main character in the Codex Alara, but she can't be controlled. She's always going off and doing her own thing. At one point, she was following him and just in disguise for like 3 weeks, and he walked past her every single day and didn't know it was her because he looked at the person, like he interacted with the person, but he just, he wasn't expecting to see her there. She was supposed to be back home safe in her country because she is another race. I'm totally blanking on the name of her race. What is the name of her race? But they're completely different from the main people that live in the country of Alara. It's gonna take me forever to find it. And I don't want to say they're more primitive because in a lot, they are more primitive, but as far as their interactions with each other and the way that they're not totally trying to backstab each other is way more advanced than Alara. They're like broken up into these different tribes, and each tribe is bonded to a different animal. And so the tribe that she's from, I forget the name of the creature they're bonded to, but if you take like a rhino and an elephant and like blended them together and then made them like 1,000 times, well, not 1,000 times bigger, but way bigger, you would basically get that creature. Like, it's huge and it's strong and it just pulls down everything. But she wants to be bonded to the horse tribe, which, she ends up getting bonded to the guy in the main series. So she ends up not like being like her people anymore, which is really sad because then she has no people. But she, like, if anyone can handle it, she could. She is just like awesome. She is outgoing. She's intelligent. She's beautiful. She cannot be stopped. She is just amazing. And so, I think she would forgive Simba. I mean, she forgave the main character of, Tavi. She forgave Tavi for, like, everything he did, like, every time he went off or did a bad mistake. But if she was with Simba, she'd be bonded to Simba, and I think she would understand what he was going through. I guess it was kind of the same situation. The person that she was in love with ends up becoming king, but the difference is Simba knew he was descended from the king, and Tavi did not know he was the princeps. And so, but yeah, I could see her forgiving Simba, and I could see her going back and kicking butt and helping get rid of Scar. She would be the warrior queen that he needed. Okay, Cinderella, Prince Ella. Okay. Prince Ella from Ella Enchanted discovers that Cinderella was the girl at the ball, but she appears to be a maid. Will they still want her? Assuming that Ella wasn't already in love with the prince in her story and was attracted to females, yeah, I could totally see her doing that. Ella had a really rough time. It's been 10 years since I read the book, and I keep blending it with the movie, even though the movie's completely different from the book and is one of my biggest pet peeves. But from what I remember of Ella, she was a really good girl. And the fact that she was under this spell and she didn't let it stop her, and she tracked down the fairy godmother and found a way to break the spell herself, speaks wonders of her personality. But I loved it. It was one of my favorite stories. I always love how Gail Carson Levine changes fairy tales. And so I think if she was in the prince's feet and she found out that Cinderella was really a maid, I think think she would be okay with it, because she sees more than just what people are. She sees like just more than like their outside appearances. She sees like who they are. Like even when she was at the academy and being picked on by all the other girls and ended up leaving the academy, she had her one best friend. And it was because her best friend was truly a good person, even though it turns out later that her best friend has dwarf blood, which is kind of frowned upon there. She was still best friends with her, even though she didn't know at the time she had dwarf blood. Okay, Mulan. Mulan is discovered impersonating a male warrior by Carlos from Isle of the Lost. Will she even survive the night? So yes, she will definitely survive the night. Carlos was one, you guys have probably seen him in the movie, The Descendants? That doesn't sound right. But, the movie that's been on the Disney Channel, maybe it's The Descendants, but, he originally appeared in the Isle of the Lost. He's the son of Cruella de Vil, and, they don't show it very much in the movie, but in the books, they completely describe his personality. He's super intelligent. He can figure out any tech thing. In fact, their island has been blocked off from all radio waves from the mainland, and he creates this device that can tap through and pick up radio waves from the mainland so they can watch different shows on TV besides like the 4 shows that they've been assigned. And it's so powerful of a device that it actually ends up shooting a hole through the dome that's covering the island. So he's incredibly intelligent. He's been super picked on his entire life. He's not one of the main popular villains on the island. He's constantly picked on by Mel and Jay. But I think if he found out that Mulan was hiding, I think, assuming they didn't have the whole, he's a villain and so, hating the heroes on the mainland thing going on, I think he would definitely stand by her and he would try and find a way to help her, and I think they'd actually become really good friends. He's not the warrior that she ends up with, but he's a good kid. Okay, Tangled. As Mother Gothel stabs Eugene and attempts to escape, will Gaius Octavian from Codex Alera agree to lifelong captivity in return for saving Eugene, or will they just seek their own freedom? Well, I just told you all about Katai, who is the love interest of Gaius Octavian, and Gaius Octavian is totally worthy of her love. He is a warrior, but even besides that, he's super intelligent. He knows how to, I don't want to say play people, because he doesn't play them. He finds people's strengths and how they can work together to use those strengths. And he is an incredibly great leader. He's going to be a great king, I know. And so I think that he would fight Mother Gothel and he would save Eugene, because that's just what he does. He helps the people that need help. In that case, would he fall in love with Eugene? I love Eugene, but I don't know if he can hold a candle to Katai. So that one's probably up in the air. But I could kind of see them becoming friends. I could see them being good friends. Lady and the Tramp. Horace, from The Ranger's Apprentice, angrily confronts the tramp about his past girlfriends and failure to rescue them from the pound. Will they ever be able to forgive him? So Horace ends up being a really, really great guy, but he starts out being a bully in the stories. So I could see him forgiving the tramp because he did have a bad past and he had to be forgiven himself. So I could see him forgiving somebody else that has a bad past. As far as him still dating him when he's a tramp, I think the tramp redeems himself. I think he tries to save the one that he's truly in love with, and he can't save all of his friends. I mean, he did as best he could, but let's face it, that dog catcher guy was intense. So I could see him forgiving him, and I could see him going and helping get out everybody else that was stuck in the dog pound, because that's just, Horace is he's a warrior. That's what he does. He's the head knight. Okay, and last but not least, Hercules. If I can open this paper. Honorine, from The Star Thief, is given the ultimate choice to save the soul of the girl they love, even though she was working with Hades. What will they decide? Oh, Honorine, hands down, would save Meg. because that's what she does through the whole book. You know, she's trying to help save everyone, even though, like, the people that she's with are trying to kill the other people. She wants to just save everybody. She wants to save the bad people. She wants to save the good people. She just wants to save everybody. And she wants everybody to get along. So I could totally see her saving Meg and then being best friends. Honoring is pretty awesome. I think it's interesting, like the constellations in the Greek myths. The story actually goes along really well. So those were the 10 things. I think all of them actually would end up really, really well, except for the Beast, who ended up running into one of the few villains that I had in my Death Star. And I hope the Beast would survive it, but I really don't think he would, which is really sad. That makes me sad. But that was the Happily Ever After book tag. So I tag everybody that hasn't done it yet. I know that she tagged a bunch of people, and a bunch of people have been doing it because it is so awesome. It's actually a really fun book tag. And I will tag the rest of the people down in the description. Please subscribe to me if you haven't yet, so you can see whenever I post new videos. I post videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys again soon.